We just closed out a whole month, and before you rush into this new month, I need you to slow down. I need you to think about this because June taught you something. It might have been loud, it might have been quiet, it might have been subtle, it might have been obvious. But I want you to think about this question. Did I actually show up for myself last month, or did I show up as the version other people needed me to be? Greetings, I am Osha Cerese, your dream doula, supporting you on birthing the life, love, and business you desire. Happy new month. I wanted to start this new month with a little bit of reflection and a little bit of intention as well. So grab your notebook, your pen, your pad, your paper, your journal, or the notes app in your phone, and let's do this work. This week's journaling prompt is: what did last month teach me about how I show up in this world? And did I show up as my full authentic self? Most of us are performing without even realizing it. I'm low key doing it right now. Because we talk about showing up as our authentic self all the time, which sounds super easy until you actually try to do it. Because we've spent so much time performing, being a certain version of ourselves, code switching, just making other people feel comfortable. That is sometimes hard to know what's our authentic voice. And I'm not saying that this is not my authentic voice, but I might go in and out of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And sometimes I'm a little bit more polished. It's all me, but what makes me feel most like my authentic self? How do I speak when I'm just talking to my homegirls or my cousins versus how I show up on social media? We all do this. We all show up differently in different ways. The person that you show up as at your job might not necessarily be the person you show up as at the family reunion. And the person that you show up as in your relationships are not necessarily the person you showed up as on that first date. And don't get me started about the person that you are on FaceTime with your homies is not necessarily the person you show up as on social media. And it's normal. We do it so much that we don't even recognize we're doing it. But we're creating all these different versions of ourselves and we're splitting ourselves. And so we have to make sure that we come back to ourselves and we snap out of it or we snap into it or whatever that looks like in order to feel most like ourselves without feeling like we're not safe or we're not seen or we're not understood. Now, this is something that I am actively working on myself. If you go back to some of my earlier damn near vegan content on my YouTube channel over there or that platform, I don't know who that woman was, auntie. She was me, but for whatever reason, whenever my mom, she used to record my videos, whenever she would say action, my voice would go at least 8 octaves higher. It went from this to, hi y'all, I'm Asha Sri. And I don't know if it was because I was in pediatrics around that time, working with little kids, using my little baby voice, or if it's just an automatic switch that goes off that makes you feel like you have to speak a certain way when you're in front of the camera. But it really takes a lot of practice and a lot of effort to get up on these platforms and yap and be your authentic self and make it feel right for you. So I'm not saying that it's always going to translate exactly how it would as if you were talking to someone in your close circle, but eventually you'll find your way to that feel good personality that feels like you, that is you. I really feel like personally, the month of June really showed me that I have found my way to my authentic self. I challenged myself to post 30 days of long form content on YouTube and just getting the opportunity to talk more often, to really get into the topics that I care about, and just to get more comfortable in front of the camera really helped me to be able to show up fully as my authentic self. Like I mentioned before, showing up online as my authentic self has been the challenge for me over the years of content creation. But in real life, I'm pretty much myself in all spaces, and that's not always received well because I don't really code switch like that. I'm professional and I may tone it down just a little bit when I was working for corporate or working in the medical field or different places, but I'm always me. I'm always going to say how I feel. I'm always going to show up in the energy that I'm in, and I can be friendly when I don't necessarily feel like it without being fake. But once it starts feeling fake, honey, I'm going to exit stage left. So I've always been able to show up authentically in real life. It's just translating that online. So I know people also struggle with that. And some people are struggling with showing up authentically in real life. So let me give you a few things to consider. When you look back on this previous month, I want you to ask yourself, did you say yes when you meant no and then feel resentful afterwards? That's not showing up authentically. That's people pleasing. Did you hold back a thought, an opinion, some feedback or something because you were afraid of how it may land? That's not always keeping the peace. Sometimes that's abandoning yourself. Did you show up differently in certain places or around certain people that didn't truly feel like you were being yourself, like you were putting a mask on? That's something to think about, and that's something to consider. Think about last month. Ask yourself, where did you shrink? Where did you show up fully? Where did you perform? And where did you tell the truth? Then ask yourself how you can show up more fully this month. Happy journaling. I'll see y'all next week. Talk to you later.